Okay. Let's make some space. Three. Welcome. Sorry if I don't. Three sewer. This is for my Geminis. Welcome, Pia. My action steps for November. Some ways to show up with self-love, self-care. Annalisa, welcome. Eric, welcome. Welcome, user 248. Nostamaga, welcome. Alright. Can I have a self-care for my Geminis? Welcome, Hannah. Welcome, Simi. I like this place, and I could willingly waste my time in it. You are not your schedule. Give thanks for the being that lives in you, beneath the trappings of your life. You are alive, and this is a gift. Take some time out. Just don't get caught up in everything so much that you miss the joy of doing the simple things. Don't change your schedule. Be grateful that you have the ability to change your schedule sometimes. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. Well, I'm going to take a walk instead. I'm going to do this. Welcome, Odie, Sunil, Jesse, Galana. Welcome. Take those times, those little moments, and be grateful for that. You have no idea how many people... Welcome, Sagittarius. You have no idea how many people don't even get that opportunity or think they don't have the ability to have that opportunity. So when you recognize it, that in itself is a blessing. It just adds more lists to be grateful for. Welcome, Umi and Poppy. They're being quick with these ones today. Gemini has a message to get out. I'm doing great. How are you? Yes. When I loved myself enough, I began leaving whatever wasn't healthy. This meant people, jobs, my own beliefs and habits, anything that kept me small. My judgment called it disloyal. Now I see it as self-loving. Take a few minutes to reflect on ways you loved yourself today. What did you leave behind that wasn't healthy? Now, it could be as simple as a mindset, a belief. It could be as simple as getting away from an argumentative situation and taking a walk so you can think about it and respond instead of react. It's the simple things, but those little moments really, really give you that pause. And I think that's, especially in Mercury retrograde, and everyone says don't start things, that doesn't mean stop doing what you're doing or hide away or any of those things. But it's okay to pause just for a moment and reflect on where you've come, how far you've come, where you're at now, and kind of how to move ahead. And the more times you do that in a day, the more times you start coming from a sacred space, right? You're coming from that place of safety, of security, of I am safe in the here and now. So many of us live on autopilot or survival mode, and we go, and we don't know how to move out of that. But taking those little moments, changing directions, looking at the sky and saying, wow, those clouds are beautiful today. Thank you for this moment. The universe is always going to give you more of them, and you're going to speak it into existence. Words are spells, no matter how you decide to say it. So if you're going to speak something into this world, why wouldn't you speak greatness, especially your greatness, and then greatness onto everybody else? We choose what we see, what we take in. We choose what we do. Sometimes we make those choices out of survival mode or not the best space, but when we can come back to that space, those choices become a lot easier, and there's much more of them. Welcome, Carolyn and Janet. Okay, let's do Beyond Lemuria. Can I have one oracle card for my Gemini? Throat chakra. Oh, Geminis have to speak some truth. And don't be afraid to do it. We're not speaking negativity. We're not wishing bad on others. But speaking the truth is the truth. And just because it's your truth doesn't mean there isn't another side of that. So when you speak your truth and you understand that there can always be a compromise. And it's also okay to remember that sometimes you're gonna be the villain in someone's story. Someone's not gonna like it, and it may be their perspective, their point of learning, their ability to learn, absorb, and adjust. And sometimes you have to be okay with that. And that doesn't mean you have to not speak your truth. And that's exactly, it says express your truth. Look at these cards. I'm such a fan of this deck. A friend actually suggested this one to me, and I fell in love with it instantly. Look at the artwork. Welcome, hi. This chakra is the origin of expression. It is the source of life, the life spark that inspires our aliveness and stokes the creative fires in others. This is the outer sharing of our inner being, the glowing song of our soul on the winds of our flight to understanding more of who we are. Connect to the crux of your potential and take it further than you could have imagined. As spirit fuses into the tangible, it actualizes a platform for greater experience, and new facets are sculpted, seeded and shared as a fractal of light in the form of our own unique language. Welcome, Wayne. Be truthful with yourself and how you are really feeling. If you always act in integrity and follow your heart-centered truth, some unhealthy connections or aspects of your life may fall away, and you will be in complete alignment with your path. In this way, your internal psychic navigation system will become strengthened, your purpose will be clear, and you will inspire others through the sparkle of your deep inner knowing. And the theme of the card is how you share your spirit, your unique language. And it doesn't always have to be just speaking. It could be singing, it could be poetry, it could be writing and drawing and painting. We all have a language, and we all have a special language that we have, how we express to the world. Welcome, Kimmy. So that's a good one. My Geminis, speak your truth. Speak your intentions. Speak your greatness. Learn how to speak. Speak it out into the world. Tell the world how great you're going to be, and then let the universe back you up. And that's exactly what happens. And it will happen that way because the universe wants nothing more than to see every person in this world succeed and show their greatest self. Come out. And of course, true to form, my creativity oracle. I did not create this, but it aligned very much with my name, with my everything that I do. My website, creativelyguided.ca. That's where I have all my guided journals, my handmade teas, tinctures, art, all kinds of good stuff. So feel free to go check it out. Also, if you missed the live and you want to go check it out for the replay, I always post a clip, usually that has the link to my YouTube for that specific video. Or you can just go follow me on YouTube, and knowing that I'm going to post the replay, shortly after I do the live. So my YouTube is Creativity Guides Me. And yeah, I think all of my socials are creativity something. Creativity. Can I have a creativity oracle for my Geminis for the month of November? Something to focus on. Alright. Oh, that looks peaceful. Intuition. Yeah, Geminis, when they get to that centered space, they have a very strong intuition, and learning to follow that, takes some practice, and you have to be able to trust yourself. And the only way to trust yourself is to start listening and show up with love and show up for yourself. That calm, that meditation. Still working on that. I do a lot of my best meditating while I'm cleaning or moving. I'm not... Some of us are very fidgety people, and we don't know how to sit still. And that's part of it. It's actually a trigger, truly. It's I guess a trauma response, not a trigger, but we do that because we become hyper independent, which is also not a good thing. It's needed. It's a survival technique, but when you learn to understand that, you can start finding the balance. So this beautiful pose, even if you struggle with it, start while you're dancing, start while you're cleaning. Just turn that brain off and just quiet the mind. Just go on autopilot for a few minutes and see how it feels and see what comes up. And usually there's a flash of whatever you need to heal, whatever you need to understand that just pops up there. And then eventually take your time and learn to sit and really do the focus. Because when we can get to this space, we're killing it. We're tag teaming all those negative thoughts and we're beating it out. It's the best thing we can do. But there's no judgment because I struggle with it too. So if you can't, just try to find another way around it, because everything isn't written in a book, and everything doesn't have 100% this is going to work. What works for you is what works for you, and you're not going to know until you try. So it's okay. Just take those moments. If you can do this, fantastic. Do it as much as you can. And if you can't, just do another thing that takes you out of your chaos and allows you to go on autopilot and just settle your mind for a few minutes. I'm telling you, when you start hearing your highest best self, it will show you, it will lay out the path for you like you can't even begin to imagine. The intuition card is one of the most powerful of all your creativity oracle cards, because as Albert Einstein said, the only really valuable thing is intuition. Looking at the word, we see in and tuition. Intuition is our inner teacher, the small, quiet voice that is always offering us guidance and answering our questions, usually in the form of symbols and gut feelings. Intuition's voice is as easily drowned out by the noise of our habitual inner dialogue as it is by the myriad of distractions of everyday life. Pulling this card is a reminder to be still and have faith in your inner guidance system to provide you with the wisdom you seek. Those couldn't be more truer words, and sometimes I understand very clearly how hard it can be. So it's never a judgment. It's about trying to do it. And I also, the whole journaling thing, so I journal when I am calm to do it. But I find a lot of times people talk about that as a meditation practice, and what I find is when I have so much to say or get out, I can't write or type or whatever fast enough to get it all out. So sometimes even in those moments as a journaling practice, the writing itself can be cathartic, but sometimes we just have to splurge the words out and get it out and express it, and that's okay. You hit voice record and you say what you got to say. And then when things have calmed down and you're taking a minute to reflect, pull it up and then write it out. Because your voice record probably isn't going to be word for word what you said, because voice to text is a beep. But truly, once you start writing it out, now that you've calmed and you've gotten the biggest point of that, as you're writing, you're like, oh, and this is going to come to mind, and this is going to come to mind. And then you're able to express it in a way that is cathartic and allows your mind to relax and say what you want to say. So don't get so caught up in how everyone says the sitting in a meditation, sitting firmly like this. Start with what works for you, and eventually you can guide it into the more book-like, the more however they want you to do it, the action step. But to worry about getting started, it's just about doing what works for you and then taking those moments and intentionally trying to build it to there. Because it takes time. Coming out of survival mode, coming out of all those worries and all those things is hard. And sometimes trying to speak your truth, they call it trauma brain. We say and you go off on 20 different ways, or you're trying to pull together the sentence because and then blurb it all out. You just spew it out because you're just trying to get the information out. And that's something that comes with the throat chakra and learning to speak your truth. And a lot of times what happens is when people don't listen, or you've had to fight to get it out, that just the act of speaking your truth is creates that dysregulation and creates that anxiety and all those things, which sucks. It's part of trauma and healing, but when you learn that and you can understand that, you can find other ways to get it out until you can understand it, and then ways to guide it, how you're expressing. It takes a little bit more work and a little bit more commitment, but at the end of the day, when it's time to actually speak your truth, it's a little easier to articulate it. It's a little easier to breathe and understand that once you get it out, you know how to deal with it. You know how to work with it. You know how to maneuver around it. And you know how to validate it and understand it. So it really is a good thing to do when you can. But don't be so focused on the how. Just, however you have to start to get there, if it's just asking a question. Sometimes some of the best things and the ways I found it to speak my truth was to ask myself the questions first. And yes, I spoke them out loud. I'm sure people thought I was crazy many times. Something happens, and then I'm like, why would I think that? Why is that in my brain? And you just start getting curious. And I'm telling you, not only does that help you focus what you're trying to say, it helps you understand it. Because sometimes we do things out of reaction and not actually responding. So apparently that message needed to be said. But when we speak our truth, sometimes you don't even understand your truth until it's right there in your face. Earth School, yes. Yes. All right. So we have, we'll take two because the other ones didn't send out two, so we'll give you both. Oh, let's do the next one. Earth School. Life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps us with this understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Pulling this card can also mean that you're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or a training course. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we grow as souls while we're here on Earth. How are you being called to grow or learn? Ananda, and welcome. And then we have Breath of the Cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Yes. Speak it into existence, and then you have to release it. And that's the hardest part. Do what you can and then release it. When we rely only on our own will, we're micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We're not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence and relying instead on our personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend our time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can too. Welcome, Megan. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you will begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, "Please use me, please show me the way," little by little you will find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. When you surrender your personal will, when you relinquish control and release the way you think things should be and surrender to the greater will, you will find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. And then the activation. I'm willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me. Please show me the way. Welcome, Heart for Pause. So that's what I'm getting from my Geminis. Your focus is learning to speak your truth, use your throat chakra, and try to do it in a balanced way that works for you. But at the same time, the goal is we want to always speak our truth, but try to understand your truth before speaking it to the world. Sometimes speaking it out and just saying, "God, help me understand. Help me understand what it is I'm trying to say. Help me understand why I feel confusion or I feel the struggle. Help me understand what it is so I can speak my truth." Welcome. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize, but welcome. But sometimes, right away, you're not going to let me shuffle? Imrama. Okay. I'm birthing a new age. I love it. Okay. Give me one sec. That came out quick. I wasn't even prepared for it. They're not messing around today. Where are you? $98. That number might be important. That was a struggle. Look up angel number 98, and I bet there's an extra message in there. Usually when there's an extra struggle, it's calling me to take notice of the number, so. Where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or already on one. It could be to a physical, ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Welcome, Community Outreach. May seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I am ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by the ancient lineages that my soul has served and remember that I don't have to do it all alone. Amen. And then we're birthing a new age. Where is it? 92. 92 and 98. Oh, they might be interesting years. There it is. Bringing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Amen. Often our path is exactly the one we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most often intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Right now, we're in a transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and a new one to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us. Using our intuition as a compass, you are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, preparing for this exact time, dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, sisters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from times past. It's time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be reborn. We are dreaming a new world into being. I am open to surrendering to the creations that are wanting to be birthed through me. May I be of service in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. Please use me, please lead me, and please show me the way. So, my Geminis, speaking your truth, speak it out into the existence. Tell the universe that you want to be used, that you want to be shown your purpose, because that's what it seems to me you're struggling with. You have maybe an idea, but it's general, and you're not sure how to wheedle it down. And I don't think that you have to, and I think that's the part that we seem to be missing. So I'll tell you a little bit about my journey, and if you see this logo all the time, this is my website, this is my business, and it's literally www.creativelyguided.ca. That is mine, and it started with my gratitude tea, and it's just going to expand because everything I do is about healing in one form or another, whether it's through art, whether it's through my guided journals, my stories. There's more and more coming every day. I'm working on it. I'm always updating the website. I just created it and launched it on the 10th of October. So it's a work in progress. I've never made a website before. I had to learn and do all that completely by myself with no help. So it was it was a big learning curve, and which is why I didn't post as much on here either. I was very busy. I had to create my business plan. I had a lot of work to do, and now I'm finally getting to be able to do the things that I actually wanted to do. That is going to help other people along the way, because it's okay to feel stuck, and it's okay to be unsure, and it's okay. You're not behind. You're not having to catch up. You're exactly where you need to be. And usually that pause is just to show you, one, celebrate how far you've already come. Because every single day you show up for yourself, you've already made leaps and bounds, right? Welcome, Kale. So just each time that you think about that and you take those moments, and then, okay, I have a pause here. So what am I to learn in that pause? And when you get to that point, then you're asking questions, and that's when you start speaking your truth. And then I promise you, when you start asking those questions, the universe is going to give you the answers. You'll hear it. You'll see the symbols. You'll see the signs. You just got to ask for them and then listen for them. All right, can I have a Moonology card for my Geminis? Something to help them focus. The energy is gaining momentum. So I think that we have some Geminis that are, which is the waxing moon. 98. 98 is an important number. Interesting. 98 could be a birth year, could be all kinds of things, but 98 is a number for Geminis. Oh, so it says the energy is gaining momentum, just so you can see it. I'm going to read that one, but at the bottom of the deck that I happened to set down bottom up, which I don't usually do, you're very close to achieving your goal. So I have some Geminis out there that they're right on the cusp. You have a lot. Don't sabotage yourself. Just don't. And don't go into perfection mode. Speak your truth. Ask the universe for help. I promise you it will come. But don't give up and don't self-sabotage, because if it's there and if it's in your desires and if it's a great idea and it's maybe a little all over the place, or you're not sure how to ground it, it's okay. Speak it. Speak it into existence and tell the universe you need help to ground it. It's coming. The energy is gaining momentum. Like, you just got to learn to speak it. You got to get that communication down. During the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go, and do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. And it's 12:21 on the clock. Again, one of my favorite angel numbers. So, and angel number 98. I think you guys need to look that up. 92 and 98, because they popped up a lot here. I know I'm headed in the right direction. The situation is full of potential. Your dream can come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed, and then keep moving forward. Always keep moving forward. Never, ever, ever stop. I don't care if it takes a million baby steps. I don't care if you have to belly crawl for some of those steps. Always move forward. I promise, as long as you do that, the universe will show up for you in ways that will blow your mind. The waxing cycle is the period of the lunar cycle from new moon to full moon, and during this time the moon appears to be slightly bigger and rounder every night. This is a very empowered and empowering time, and this is a very promising card. It suggests now is the time to make plans and to act on them, no matter when you actually pull the card. You have the idea, it's there. You have the desire. Now you need to start speaking it into the universe. Don't let perfection stop you. I'll tell you, it hindered me for a long time. I can't do this. It's not perfect. It's not there. I used to get really upset because it wasn't perfect, and then I started messing things up. And that's not what we want to do. It's probably the worst thing we can do, because what we do is we self-sabotage. We start beating ourselves up and picking up that torch of all the naysayers, and it's one of our biggest hindrance. And I pray that we all learn to avoid that, because we don't compete with anybody. We just be our best selves. And I promise you, the universe is going to show you and give you things every single moment of the day to be grateful for. So, my Geminis, I just want to see you speak it into existence. And that's what it sounds like. You guys are learning to speak it into existence. It seems like you have come close and you're finding that balance, which is a constant thing. So there's always going to be times you go a little each way out of balance, which is fine. That's how we learn, right? You can't know good without the bad. You can't, how do you understand what your morals are if you don't understand what the bad and what the good are? So stepping out of balance or not always being in balance is just a teacher. It's just a lesson to help guide you and help you understand exactly what it is you want and what you don't want. And once you learn what you don't want, which is what I'm focusing on in my other content, the Rage is a Teacher too. That's my Fire and Flow content, all for the month of November. Tomorrow there'll be a live for the Sacred Side of Anger. I did the live for the Rage as a Teacher too. But every couple of days, we're talking about that, because you learn just more from what you don't want to manifest than what you do. And like you become very much more clearer on it. So understanding that and learning that rage, anger, fear, all those things are just as important as speaking your truth, speaking love and light. Nobody is love and light always. We all have a shadow. We all have a negative side. We all have a positive side. The idea is to not feed one more than the other. It's to find that balance, right? And when you can stay in that balance, the longer you can stay in that balance, the longer you're in that 0 point, which is the best place to manifest. But either way you step out of balance, that's how you learn what you want and what you don't want. So everything is always going to be learning. Okay, stop talking to it. The big, you got 2, so I'm giving you both of them. 1515, the big break. Innovation, focus, creation. Some Geminis got something going on. I want to hear too in the comments what your ideas are. Don't spill them if you're trying to bring them into existence, but as they're coming to fruition and they're you're finding ways to bring them, to ground them, I want to hear about it because that's pretty exciting, and I want to cheer you on for sure. Okay, so innovation, focus, creation, progress, momentum, mastery, achievement, and passion. An exciting opportunity, support, or extra resources are heading your way. Keep moving forward with enthusiasm and enjoy the process. True success comes from passion, and your dedication will be handsomely rewarded. Remember, 1515. You start seeing it everywhere, on receipts, on the clock, wherever. You'll start seeing the number, and that's when your angels are saying, pay attention. Pay attention for what's going on. See what's going on around you. What were you thinking at the time? That's going to lead you to your greatness. Manjat, welcome. And then you got 2, so you got 000, the great reset. That's what I always call it. But it's limitless potential, which is amazing, which is transformation, serenity, trust, achievement, release, potential, success, and triumph. This is a powerful reminder that anything is possible. If you can dream it, you have the ability to make it a reality. What someone else has can also be yours. Stay calm and trust that what is meant for you will come your way. Release any tension and embrace relaxation, knowing that your potential is boundless. When you start seeing this number everywhere, and especially now that I've spoken out, now you know what it means. You have limitless potential. It's never ending, and all you have to do is take those steps. Hi, LaFleur, welcome. You already know what you want to do. You have a basic guideline. Now you got to start speaking it into existence, asking the universe to help show you steps how to bring it and ground it, to make it a thing for you in your life. And when you get there, when you ask it and you start speaking it out, start paying attention to the signs. And you never know where they're going to come from. Don't put expectation how or where it's going to come from. But I promise you, you'll start seeing things show up, whether it's on your reels, on your scrolling through social media, whether it's a stranger saying some sentence that sticks in your brain, a sign, like literally, what do you call them, the big board signs, and like, I'm telling you, you never know where it's going to come from. And don't micromanage the universe. Just speak what you want, speak your truth, speak what you're trying to do, and then ask the universe to help. And I promise you it's going to happen. Okay, I need a spirit junkie affirmation because we love affirmations. I'm the queen of affirmations. They throw them right out. You got 3. Okay. And it matters. My happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perceptions from fear to love. So fast. Hi, Lucy. How are you? And it's true, because when you shift your fear to love, then you're speaking from a place not of survival. You're speaking from a place of love. And that's where now your visions start coming out, and that's when the visions help you clarify to the universe what it is that you want. And then we have taking care of myself is a radical act of love. And it's true. In those moments where you're feeling confusion and you're not sure how to show up for yourself, that's the exact time that you need to speak it out, speak it into the world. Welcome back, Kunal. And Dave, welcome. And then, I accept the gifts I've been given as a high service to the world. when you already know that there's something that you want to do and you just don't know how to bring it into the world, you don't know how to ground it. Like, we stay up in our heads and we can imagine and we can think all these great things, but trying to get it to ground it, that's when your throat chakra comes in handy, right? That's when you learn how to speak it into existence and say, universe, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to make that doable in the real world. And that becomes the space where when we ask and we can say that and say, I know what I'm trying to do is loving and caring and going to help many people, but I don't know how to bring it into existence. I promise you, when you start speaking that out into the world and asking the universe, you will have signs everywhere. I can say that. I have my website. I mean, this is the one that I created, and it is of great meaning to me. And here, as I'm doing this content within the next month, because I'm still building it, it just started on the 10th of October. I've been busting my butt all year trying to get things accomplished. So my healing content, you see my posts, you'll see things like this. I do 2 days of kind of doing the post with a little bit of questions and reflections, and then if we want to dig deeper and kind of learn how to use that to your advantage, learn how to not get stuck or judge yourself for something that you don't deserve to be judged for, but what happens is we tend to pick up the torch and all these naysayers, and they've got us so well programmed that, you don't even need to judge me anymore. I can do it myself. And we don't want to get stuck on that, right? So my Geminis, they're saying use your throat chakra this month. Try to find the balance, and all those great dreams that you have, speak it out into the world and let the universe know what it is you're trying to ground. Ask for a little bit of help, just a little bit, and then listen for those signs. Try to stay in that balance. Try to stay in that peaceful place, and no matter what you do, you love yourself through it. Every day you show up and you try, you're winning. And that moon sign said that you're at that point. You're right at that point where it's starting to ground, it's starting to come through. And now all you have to do is decide, are you going to commit or are you going to let it go? And the last thing I want to see anyone do is self-sabotage. So please, if you really are wanting to do it, don't give up. Find ways to ground it. Welcome, Ulrich. Okay, that's what I have for my Geminis. If you missed it, or you didn't get to see it all, or came in late, or any of those things, and you want to go check it out, usually within the hour, I post it up on my YouTube, so you can follow me there at Creativity Guides Me. Or you can go check out my website for other healing tools. I have guided journals. I have handmade teas. I have all kinds of different artwork. It's all about healing and living from a space of love and creativity. And that is what I do. That's how I live my life. And I just try to share it with everybody else, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because transparency is what matters most in this world. And when we can come from that space, those small little steps that people get stuck on, that no one wants to share or help people understand, are those spaces that actually create the most chaos, because people think that they're stuck and they're not doing something right, but you're not stuck. That's the space where you really need to learn. And if that's the space you keep getting stuck, then it's probably the thing that you need to be teaching the most, right? Because once you get unstuck, you can help others. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. That's divine timing if I never heard it myself. Where you're struggling, don't think you're the only person. Other people are out there struggling, and they could be struggling in the same space as you. And that little bit that you can teach can save lives. So give love, send love. And my Geminis, I really hope this helped. I love you. Have a good day.